Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Welcome back to another round of street vlogging. We are back again. We are back with a bang. And we tend to discuss pro-hand land issues which do affect life, do change things, do make our homeland the best, and it do turn around things for good. You can see what is happening in the homeland now. Many of the places are now talking about redevelopment, trying to unravel or take themselves from the bewitchment by the politicians who has made them not to think deeply about the issue that concerns them. So they basically now opening their eyes to the reality that they are not being served properly. You think about the Newi people now suddenly waking up from their this slumber, years of this slumber under the political class, now thinking that they have not been served, that their area has been in a mess, which has never happened before. Because in many of the areas in Onitsha, people are becoming aware that the politicians are basically giving little or nothing based on what they can achieve, and that's why we are here, and that's what we are trying to do. And thank you for your support so far. And basically, we're going to continue on our project Anambra. Remember, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. So today we are going to be talking about this innovative way we call Project Anambra, and we are continuing on Onitsha. This is part 2 on this series on Onitsha, because we did the part 1 and a lot of people responded to that, and some people also get in contact about it. That is a good idea, and others has we are pessimistic. But anyway, it's good to hear your opinions. But what I know is that this will basically change what we are having at the moment. It will actually add a lot of value to our homeland if we implement it. So think about what will happen if this project Anambra is actually instituted in Onitsha. Think about how Onitsha will look. People will not be talking about Abuja or Lagos anymore, because the whole place in Onitsha, 90 or 90 something % of the roads will be done within 1 year or 2, in combination with a lot of people, both the government, both the people, both the businesses and others. Think about the jobs. You know, some people reckon that this will basically create 500,000 to 1 million jobs in Onitsha within 2 years, if the government is really interested in this project Anambra. So thinking about the mobilization of the funds, I think we go to the mobilization of funds, because some people are asking, where will you get the fund? Where will you do this? Where will you do that? Let me give you an example. A person that build bungalow, which you know that people in Onitsha Metro doesn't basically build bungalows. They mostly build story buildings, 3-story, 2-story, and all those things. And considering how much a plot of land is, does it mean that that person cannot afford 5 million to pave the front of his house 100 feet or even 150 feet? Does it mean that he cannot have 5 million? In the case he doesn't have the 5 million, the government can actually provide a loan facilities that will be under 10% interest over 4 years. If it's paid within 2 years to 4 years, will be only 10%. So this can actually add more value. That's one of the ways to basically get the money that they needed, because 5 million will basically do 100 feet or 150 feet of somebody's frontage. So that's one of the ways to raise the money. And another way is basically to look at the tenants in combination with the landlords, where the tenants contribute some money, because they're already doing all these things, but they are doing it in drinking, partying, and all those things, where they contribute money and basically use it to, drink and all those things, forgetting that their environment is very bad, and that's why their businesses has not been working. So somebody was telling me how they are contributing Isusu from January to December. So they can make it that within 7 months, every tenant will be contributing some money. If they are looking at 5 million, all the tenants will be contributing a percentage every month, and the landlord will also contribute. So before 6 months, they would have, or 8 months, they would have getting the money they are looking, or they are almost near to that amount. And this will be basically deployed for the purpose of rebuilding the homeland, building that roads. So, and the government also on its own, so can use the small business organization like they have in Anambra State, ASBA. They can actually extend the scope to include infrastructure, or set up another agency that basically loan out money to landlords and associations in infrastructural development. Remember, this thing can only work if the government has a policy that all these roads has to be completed within 1 year or 2, that no road will be left unpaved, no side road will be left unpaved or greened. So once you make this law, what you have done is that basically you have made people to mobilize every fund available. So some landlord may decide to use their own money, and they look at what will not happen. This will basically add value to their property, because the rentage will basically go up as a result of this. So there will be a lot of value added immediately. And remember, the land or property value will basically skyrocket. If they invest 5 million, I bet you that a property that is worth 20 million will eventually get to 30 million immediately. Immediately they finish construction of that road. Remember, they are not just constructing road, they are putting trees, they are putting solar lights, they also putting a lot of things on this area. So it can be interlocked. The government might say, okay, this area you can use interlock, or some areas you can use a pavement system. That's how they can actually change the narrative. And this is what we are asking of. This is what we are discussing, and I do believe that if they want to get things up and running, they have to look at, looking at this innovation. It is a win-win situation, because we cannot rely on government alone, and we cannot be waiting for the politicians unless 100 years most of these roads are not constructed. So the government also can also give out some incentives to areas or streets that are going to do their own. Remember, on doing these things, they are meant to establish chairman and vice chairman of that each road or each street, in order to facilitate easy going on this project. And remember, there must be a specification on the thickness of the roads, so which should not be less than 6 6 inches, but mostly 8 inches thickness, so that it can last for a long time. So these are things they need to do. The government can also give grants, and the association also can give out loans, like the landlord association, the estate operators. They can actually give out loans, and the government on itself will actually make a policy that all the new estates must pave their roads. Thank you. I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. So I think I'm going to be stopping here, so that we'll continue in the next episode. But the policy must be formulated in order to make this work, and the government must be on top of the game, because if they are not, nothing work out. Remember, the government is supposed to be the custodian. They must be the policy drivers. So if they are not doing their own part, this policy might not work so much. But that's why things has not gone, gone the right way. But I do believe that if we pursue this, there are a lot of money that can be deployed in developing our homeland. So the willingness, if it's shown, will basically change a lot of things and change a lot of lives. Think about the jobs that will be created. Think about the businesses. Think about how the whole place will be completely changed. Think all about these things. We must drive the development into our homeland. We cannot keep on developing other areas. We have to develop our streets. Onitsha Metro must be turned around. It must be done. We must do it. And the governor, Charles Choludo, should look at this policy, this innovation. Please share this to him, share this to him, share this to him, and have a wonderful time. Bye.